Your kids could get free or low-cost health coverage from Medicaid or CHIP. Even if you've applied before, they may be eligible now. Kids up to age 19 are covered for checkups, vaccines, dentist visits, hospital care, and more. And if they already have Medicaid or CHIP, remember to renew every year. Visit insurekidsnow.gov or call 877-KIDS-NOW. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hey there, True Crime Podcast fans. It's Patrick and Jillian from True Crime Obsessed.
Each week on TCO, we recap a true crime documentary everyone's talking about, and we do it with heart, sass, and just the right amount of humor.
So if you like the kind of podcast where two good friends chat about a case in a thoughtful way that centers the victims, you really got to check us out.
Yeah, we cover the well-known cases that you hear about in the news and the underreported cases that desperately need more attention.
For almost 9 years, we've been one of the most popular true crime podcasts out there.
We have over 30,000 five-star reviews on Apple Podcasts, and our brand new YouTube channel has over 50,000 subscribers watching our full-length video episodes too.
So find and subscribe True Crime Obsessed wherever you get your podcasts.
This podcast is intended for mature audiences and discusses topics that may be upsetting. For a full content warning, sources, and resources, please visit the episode notes. Opinions shared by the guests of the show are their own and do not necessarily represent the views of myself, Broken Cycle Media, or Wondery. The podcast and any linked materials should not be misconstrued as a substitution for legal or medical advice. Megan Stoner's responses to these allegations are addressed within this season. I'm Tiffany Reese, and this is Something Was Wrong.
Hello, this is a call from
an inmate at the Hamilton County Jail.
This call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using Global Tellink.
Hey, Justin, how are you?
Hey, Megan, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I do have some news to share with you that I'm not sure you're going to like.
Oh, God. What?
The story has been picked up by another journalist that has her own podcast. She's got a very big platform, and she is wanting to talk to you.
What's her name? Guys, I can't. What's her name? I need her name.
Her name is Tiffany Reese.
How do you spell that? Someone play my hand. Where is she from?
She has a podcast called Something Was Wrong.
Okay, hang on. Let me write. Hold on. I need hold on. I'm getting a pencil. But you said she's a journalist. Is she with anybody, or is she an independent journalist?
She's an independent journalist as far as I know. I know that her podcast is, like, covered by Wondery, which is, like, the main podcast company.
Yeah, I know what Wondery is. Okay. How does she want me to get in touch with her?
I have her phone number, and you can call her, I think, as soon as tomorrow.
Okay.
I will tell you, this is a very big platform, so she's very nice. I've talked to her like 3 hours over the last few days, but she does want to talk to you.
Her last name?
Reese.
Okay.
I believe it's like the number 4 most subscribed to podcast on Apple.
Okay.
So it's pretty big. So that's yours to deal with. I will give you the phone number, and like I said, I think the thing is, Megan, like, I think she's going to talk to you one time. Like, do not abuse this number.
Okay.
She was very apprehensive to let you have it, but I was told to give it to you, so I'll give it to you now. Let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, the phone number is 916.
Okay. Is she on getting out, did she say?
Oh, I don't think she's on the messaging app.
Oh, well, I don't mean that. I mean the video visit. I didn't know if it'd be easier to video visit her. That's okay. I'll just call her tomorrow. What would you have any advice?
Don't bullshit her. Be honest. Nobody wants to hear you play the victim, Megan. Like, you're going to be asked very specific questions, and, like, I would not try to work your way around it. Either answer them or don't, but do not try to lie. It will not go well for you.
Okay. Well, thanks for the info. I appreciate it, Justin. Have you listened to podcasts? Like her podcast?
Yeah, I've actually been a fan of hers for a while.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm not the one that reached out to her, but I guess somebody from the group did, and she's taken it up, so.
Yeah, okay. I might give you a call tomorrow night to let you know how things go with Tiffany.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Okay, thanks, Justin. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Hello, this is a call from
An inmate at the Hamilton County Jail.
This call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using Global Tellink.
Hi, this is Tiffany.
Hi, this is Megan Stoner.
Okay, I thought so. How are you?
Yeah, I'm okay. Thanks for taking my call.
I spoke to Justin, and he told me that he would pass along my number, so I'm glad it got to you.
Yeah, I was just curious if you could tell me a little bit about your podcast and kind of your angle on my story.
Yeah, so my name is Tiffany Reese. My main podcast that people know me from is called Something Was Wrong, and essentially audio documentaries is what I make. So the original season started with a story that I came across through someone I knew, but since then all of our seasons and stories come to us through the listeners. So we actually have a website where we get submissions, essentially. And I actually had multiple people submit your name and this Facebook group that essentially was started surrounding the crimes you've been charged with. So far I've met with Alyssa, and then I spoke with Justin. So far, given the public nature of this case, I've been able to review a lot of the materials quickly, given like the public case files and Twitter and Facebook groups and such. So yeah, I thought I would reach out to you and see if you would be interested in making a comment. I can also check back in with you once I've had more time to conduct the interviews. But essentially, I have a pretty decent idea of what the allegations against you are and what is in the criminal record. And I could certainly go over that from a fact-checking perspective with you and have you comment on that if you wanted to. Or some people go, no comment, you know, it's really up to you.
Okay. How soon are you looking to publish an episode about me?
So we are planning for a season because we've had a lot of people come forward. We have about 3 to 4 weeks that we're working on trying to get all of the rest of the interviews done. So in a few months would be the soonest they would start airing, because I have to conduct a thorough investigation, and I have to legally make sure that anything that is included is legally responsible.
Right. Okay. I guess I'm just trying to figure out your angle, because I don't want to do an interview and be made a fool of or just be laughed at, because I am willing to take responsibility and I understand. I just I don't want to have to I don't want to be laughed at, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, understandably so, because who wants that? But, given the charges and everything that's out there, you have to know it doesn't look good. I mean, already.
I understand,
yeah. And so, honestly, Megan, I don't know how to articulate this. Given that you have put out there publicly that you're a survivor as well, I essentially wanted to extend you extra courtesy.
Thank you.
But I'm unclear if those allegations are true or not, or which of them are true or not. And so that's what's also difficult, because, being somebody who works with survivors from all over on a daily basis, we take that really seriously. And we take false accusations really seriously, because that harms the 97% of survivors who come forward and are being truthful. Absolutely. And so I think that would be the first piece you and I would have to really sort out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I guess I'm more confused. Are you wanting to look at the crimes that I've committed? I mean, because I pled guilty, so I can talk about that. That's not, that's not a secret. It's out there.
Right.
I pled guilty. I'm sitting in jail now. But, or are you trying to go on more of my personal life? Because my being a sexual assault survivor, if I am or not, that doesn't really have anything to do with my crime. So I'm trying to understand your angle.
But false reporting is a crime.
Absolutely, I agree.
So that would be a crime. So we will talk about not only the crimes you've been charged with, but if we find that there's other crimes that have been committed, then yes, we would report on those. And there's a lot of allegations of that you haven't been charged with. And your victims are seeking justice,
Yeah. Well, I guess the other tough part is I've not been able to listen to this I don't know what's being said about me out there, honestly, on my allegations, because I've been locked up since April, or late part of April. And I was incarcerated for 6 months prior to that. So it's really, really hard to know what even is being said at this point about me. Would you be interested in talking with me after I get out in November? Or would that be too late? Because I'd like to review what's being said about me, so when I provide a comment, it's not, shooting just from the hip here.
Well, the problem with that is if I allow you to review all the testimony that's going to come out against you, that will allow you to plot and manipulate further and twist things to make your story make sense. So what we do is we collect everybody's testimony, and then we evaluate all of it, and that's compiled. We give the opinions of both sides, and we allow the listeners to make the decision. But I don't typically extend my platform to house voices of who we, refer to as the predator or the criminal in the situation. But I can always read a comment on your behalf or something of that nature, most of the time, honestly, because their lawyer would never recommend that, especially because you have so many pending legal charges still.
I hear what you're saying. I don't know what is being alleged about me or allegations being said about me right now. I don't know what's out there.
Okay. Do you want me to give you a high level of it and you can just not comment on it, but just let me read it?
That way I know.
To you?
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be great.
So what I have here that I'm looking at, just for your reference, is a timeline document that we're putting together. And we organize the evidence in as most, linear way as possible. So the first allegation against you, and I don't have notes on where all of these came from at this time, but we can locate those. But we have from 2012 to 2016, you attended Elmwood Community High School. You started in politics in 2014, and you joined, I believe, called the Young Republicans Club. It's alleged that your parents and you were spoken to by police about falsely accusing one of your church pastors of sexual assault, and that the church called you to speak to you upon the realization that you had lied about the accusations, and it was discovered that you had fabricated text messages between you and the accused pastor, claiming that the pastor had wanted you to come to his home to engage in sexual activity with him and his wife. Then we have just like basic stuff. So 2015, you were working at Life of America. You were pursuing your CNA license. 2016, 2017, you began volunteering during high school in local politics. You met Justin in, it sounds like, college. Heard of you, or you knew of each other, but you only met in person maybe a couple times, it sounds like. What Justin reports that he had been told is that you had been essentially fired from your internship for, let me get the lying about the number of places that you were like getting surveys from. 2014 to 2017, your relationship with Kurt Neasley was documented a lot. And then I believe that there was allegations made against him at one time, but that's not on here yet.
Not accurate.
Not against him? Okay. Just that you worked with him, basically.
He was a mentor of mine.
Got it. Okay. So 2018, 2022, your background check shows that you volunteered at the U.S. House of Representatives from 2018 to 2022. Oh, here it is. And this is where it gets murky. Something about you worked with politician Boslow and that resulted in a sexual assault.
Can you say the name? I didn't catch the name. You said
I think it's Boslow? Is that? Let me find my notes on that. The autocorrect might have messed me up there.
I know he worked with something. Okay.
There's something with a B for sure. Hold on one sec.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you know who I'm referencing? Sorry.
Yes.
Okay. And then April of 2015, there was a lot of, there's like lots of pictures of you with former Vice President Mike Pence before he became Vice President. There's a lot of chatter about, Brian Bosma, excuse me, that was the person. But a lot of chatter about Pence's security team essentially flagging for you, and you weren't supposed to be there, but somehow you got a selfie with him.
Yeah, I don't really know much about that, but that's, interesting to know. Okay.
Yeah, this is just what's been, some of this is just hasn't been confirmed, obviously. Yeah. These are just literally the claims that we've found thus far. And people are claiming that Mike Pence is aware that you're in jail because of, I assume, the Bosma allegations, and there were allegedly some other allegations about Bosma and other politicians involved in a group sexual assault.
Okay.
2018, there were allegations that you were working with a journalist, or had claimed you were working with a journalist from the Indiana Star on a story about the previous sexual assault I mentioned, and claims that the journalists were harassing you. 2019, 2021, graduated from Ball State. 2020 or 21, let's see. Okay, some of the information that people are alleging that is fake information that you have posted online. Fake stalking stories, fake medical stories, fake deaths of your parents, a fake child and a fake death of a fake child, false sexual assault allegations, false allegations against a megachurch, and that members of that church had sent you a box of sex toys as a form of sexual harassment. And their claim is that you later admitted to lying about all of this when the people in the Facebook group confronted you. 2020, okay, there's someone alleging that you claimed that Mike Pence was running a sex abuse ring out of your apartment, and that you had claimed to drag out dead bodies. June 21st, 2020, you were interviewed by the Indianapolis Star about anti-masking. December 21 through March 22, you had the Sinking Ark podcast about the I-Town Church in Fishers, and that there was a fake murder for hire plot against Pastor Jeff Thompson, and it involved another woman. August 2022, You were a teacher at school for only 2 days. However, you posted an Amazon wish list with around 200 items, many of them personal items. And then you wrote an article urging people to donate. Don't have dates for some of these. Another claim is that while you lived in Indiana, you lived next to a man named Sensual, and you were using his Cash App. March 2021, there's an allegation that you defrauded the Small Business Administration by obtaining a PPP loan while the program was in effect. November 3rd, 2021 was when the order of possession eviction damages was sent. 2021 to 23, the rental scams, which obviously you've already pled guilty to those. And then there's the whole Tesla thread, which, when do you go to court for that, December?
I'm not. I'm aware that there's a small claims action against me in Indiana. I am aware, though, of a court date. I did get the paperwork that there's a file, but I've not been aware of a court date yet.
Okay. 2022, that's where the allegation about you lying about your parents being dead. I'm sorry to hear that they have passed away now, but what they're claiming is that before your parents passed away that you had claimed that they had been killed or shot. March, May 2022, Jeff Thompson was on your podcast and afterwards stated he felt he wasn't sure if you were a truthful person, charged for not paying a tire changing service, $75 in 23. So then when were you arrested? April 28th then? Or?
I was, so it started in April 2023, and I bonded out I turned myself in at some point, the next day after the warrant was issued, turned myself in, bonded out, and then caught a new case that is still pending in Elwood City Court that will be heard in December. And I had my bail revoked in Hamilton County. I started doing my sentence, went to work release in March of this year, and then came back in April of this year. And I'm here until November.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, I'm almost done, I think. Sorry. Do you want me to keep going? Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay.
I'm ready to sit down.
Okay, so then we won't be sharing his name on the podcast out of respect for his wishes, but we'll refer to him as Tom, but I'm sure you're aware of the allegations there. It looks like the allegations are that you opened a credit card and that you were falsely collecting money for him around, it sounds like upwards of like $30,000-$40,000. May 2023, that's when the Twitter was created and started posting documents. Some of these are kind of smaller notes. May 8th, 2023, you created a Lyft account using the name Abby, who was your former roommate. I believe that's the one you used with the Tesla stuff. May 2023, and then the information about, you being kicked out of the work release and those pieces.
I mean, the main problem is, and I understand I get it about not wanting to wait to where I can, hear everyone else's side. But the other part of this is I'm in jail. I have no way to prove what I'm saying is true or not. I don't have any documents. I don't have any of my evidence that I could give you. I don't have anything. I don't have access to anything. So I can tell you the sky is blue right now, but I don't have a way to prove that. And I know that.
Right.
And I don't expect you to just take me at my word. So how can I, being in jail and away from my devices,
I hear. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you. Here's my thing.
Yeah.
I don't need any documents to review to prove that I didn't falsely accuse someone of sexual assault or commit crimes, personally. I don't need any files to reference for that. I don't know what files you would need, but I'm sure we could get them to you.
Okay. I guess I'm not aware of how you would do anything to me in here because, it's a pretty...
Well, I just don't know I don't know what you would need that would change. You either committed these crimes or you didn't. It's pretty cut and dry. There's a lot of evidence here. All I know is that I've spent less than a week on Megan, and I feel like I could prosecute you in a court of law based off of what I found after 1 week. So I don't know what you could possibly have that would disprove any of this. But you not only have just a handful of people saying this, there are upwards of 300 victims claiming that you've conned them by now. there's been a lot developing, I think, while you've been in jail that you're probably not aware of. But, like, you know, this is a lot of indisputable evidence. And so I think what I would say is the degree to which a person can grow is directly proportional to the amount of truth that they can accept about themselves. You know, I don't know what your plan is when you get out of prison or jail. I'm sorry. But I hope it's to not harm any other people. That would be, I think, the first start. Because the majority of people that I've spoken to are just honestly scared that you're just going to continue to do this to other people, disabled people, like, or some of these other victims, people that have literally reached homelessness because of the crimes that you've committed and the harm that you've committed. It's bigger than just like what's criminally illegal. It's morally and ethically repulsive. And it's such a staunch juxtaposition to everything that you purported to support and believe in politically. So that's what makes it such an interesting dichotomy for people.
Okay.
And so I think that's really where all this, like, online interest is coming from. It's because you already look like a joke to these people. You look like the world's biggest hypocrite. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I guess all I would say is that obviously I can respect you as a journalist, and you know, I'm just going to say I hope you substantiate your claims, because I'm definitely looking at defamation suits when I get out. I already know that. And I hope you're accurate. You know, I don't have a way to substantiate anything I would say. It doesn't matter what I would have to share with you evidence-wise. I don't have a way to access that in here. I don't have my phone.
I would talk to your lawyer, you know. That would be my recommendation.
I have a public defender that withdrew because my case is closed. My public defender doesn't want to be a part of this public charade.
Why would they?
Yeah, they don't want to be part of that. They're not getting paid for it.
Got it. So you don't have a representation.
No.
Got it.
No,
okay.
I'm sitting in jail.
You have 1 minute remaining.
Oh, sorry. We have 1 minute.
I can offer. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to touch base with you in November.
Okay. We're going to air the story regardless, but we will just list it as no comment then.
Okay.
If you want to get back in touch with me before then, you can just let Justin know if he's still speaking with you, and then we can arrange it that way if you'd like. Once I've had more time to, like, talk with more people and vet more of this stuff myself.
Okay. I might check in with you in a month or two then, yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, that would be great. All right. Take care of yourself.
Thanks.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Hey there, True Crime Podcast fans. It's Patrick and Jillian from True Crime Obsessed.
Each week on TCO, we recap a true crime documentary everyone's talking about, and we do it with heart, sass, and just the right amount of humor.
So if you like the kind of podcast where two good friends chat about a case in a thoughtful way that centers the victims, you really got to check us out.
Yeah, we cover the well-known cases that you hear about in the news and the underreported cases that desperately need more attention.
For almost 9 years, we've been one of the most popular true crime podcasts out there.
We have over 30,000 five-star reviews on Apple Podcasts, and our brand new YouTube channel has over 50,000 subscribers watching our full-length video episodes too.
So find and subscribe True Crime Obsessed wherever you get your podcasts.
This call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording.
Thank you for using Global Tellink. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
What can I do for you?
Hey, I was just really curious. I heard about this podcast. I was just really curious how it's going.
It's going fine. I think it's going to really bring to light, like, the true person that you are. I think it'll be great. I did some recording with Tiffany last night. We're going to do some more here soon. There's a lot of people stepping forward that want to come out and speak, and she just has a really large platform. I think the goal has always been to just make sure that you're not going to reoffend, and I'm hoping that this keeps you from reoffending in the future and not being able to commit future crimes because the audience will be so vast.
Yeah. How's things going with you, Alyssa?
You know what? My life got a lot less hectic when I stopped answering your calls.
Yeah, I understand. I know we've not talked in almost a year or so.
Yep, I lost my dad to suicide, and then shortly after that, the guy that I was with had an affair and had a baby with another woman, so I've recently moved out with just my kids. My life has...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but all is well, and now I feel like I have the bandwidth to really kind of sit down with Tiffany and, like, help do this podcast, which I think is great. It's been, like, really nice to have someone else maybe, like, see the full picture of, you know, what's happened.
Yeah, I talked to Tiffany last Friday.
I know.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hey, has anyone else said anything about a court date for the Mason Motors case?
Megan, I'm not willing to give you any information about anything. Like, you should definitely speak to your lawyer if you have one. If you don't have one, you should get one. I do know that, like, Tiffany is going to be working very hard to try to get some more of these crimes seen and heard by the correct people. I think a lot of this stuff wasn't brought to the correct people at the time, and I think that she's got a lot of connections. So whether more charges come or not, I don't know, but I think she's definitely willing to advocate for the victims that their voice wasn't heard. You weren't charged with those crimes.
Yeah.
I've heard your conversations with other people, and it doesn't really sound like anything has changed. And, you know, I know that when you went to work release, you were still kind of like fucking off and not doing what you were supposed to do. And that didn't surprise me at all. I kind of figured that's exactly what would happen and that they would see through your bullshit very quickly, and they did. Which, I mean, was really to be expected. If you're not doing what's expected of you there, then you're gone. And so I almost find it comical that you're, like, calling me and trying to get a hold of me just to ask me about it. Like, Megan, this is going to ruin your reputation. You will have a really hard time finding a job or scamming someone ever again after this, and that's been my goal through all of this. Like, I put so much effort into making sure that your victims' voices were heard, and that's why I reached out and started this process with her, because I really felt like people need to know just how truly malicious and terrible you have been. And I hope that when you get out, like, maybe you pick up and move away and live a different life, or maybe you get out and make amends to the people that you did wrong by paying them back. Like, that would be great. But I just don't think in the future you're going to be able to scam. There will be no asking people for their social security numbers or sending 1,000 messages a night from Twitter asking people for $20 for underwear. Like, that stuff's over now. And I'd also like to tell you that, like, a lot of the phone calls that we've had, I did record. And it's a one-party consent state. So when you were saying that you had a child that died, I have all of those things. I have all the documentation of everything you've ever said. I shared all of those with her. So as excited as you think you are about this podcast and you think you're going to be famous or something, like, I think you're in for a rude awakening. I was actually glad you called me just so I could make sure to tell you that. Okay. And I actually feel no remorse for what I'm saying to you now. I don't feel bad at all. You know why? Because the last time that I actually spoke to you, you threatened to call CPS on me and have my kids taken away. Because I told people that you were shitting in the shower at the jail. Those are the last. Have you not noticed that was the last time I spoke to you, is when you told me you're going to call CPS on my kids and have them taken away? How truly disgusting that is to say to someone. So I accepted this call, but don't call me again, like I've told you in the past. I don't want to talk to you. I have everything I could ever need to expose you to people, and that's exactly what I'm doing and what I've wanted to do all along. So if there's anything else you'd like to say to me, you can say it now, but this is the last time you will ever speak to me.
Okay. The recording of my mom, that when she wouldn't sign for me, is it possible to get a copy of that?
You know what? If I do, I absolutely will share that with you, because I lost a parent, so I know what that's like to just want to hear their voice. If I come across that, you let me know when you get out, and I'll send it to you.
Okay. Will you try to look for it, please?
I have them all in a bin there. I have it all. When I get around to it, I'll get around to it. But I understand what it's like to lose a parent, and that sucks. And I hate that you've lost both of yours. And you know that I don't have contact with my mom, so I really don't have parents anymore either. And I feel for you for that. But at the same time, like, that sympathy will not be played on me, because it doesn't excuse anything that you did.
I'm not asking you to have sympathy. I'm just asking for the recording.
Yeah, if I can find it.
And she. Okay.
Yeah, sure. I hope you're doing your time right. It seems like you know, the little bit of freedom you were given, you pretty much fucked that off really quickly. We'll see what happens when you get out. I think there will be a lot of eyes on you. And hopefully by the time you get out, the podcast will already have been recorded and put out there for the world. And we don't have to worry about any more victims because there won't be a person that doesn't know who you are.
Yeah. Well, if that's the way you feel, I mean, you're entitled to feel that way. I'm not trying to take that away.
Well, I'm not the only person that feels that way. We're all entitled to feel that way. You hurt a lot of people. I think I indulged you for far too long answering your calls when I shouldn't have, and it really stressed me out. And it put a strain on me that I didn't even realize was happening at the time until I finally stopped answering. And it was like I broke free from that conversation that I was having with you because it was, you know. But also, I feel like you admitted to crimes over the jail phone to me, that you had opened a credit card in name and done things like that. And I have all of that as well. But I think I finally found someone that has the ability to take those recordings into things that I have accumulated against you and possibly charge you with more things. So I think that would be the best outcome. But I'm also okay with just the awareness being out there of your crimes and what you've done and the story, because honestly, it's kind of like a movie. When you try to explain to people, they don't even believe that someone could be so capable of such evil.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of, oddly enough, a lot of people that's reached out.
Well, I heard a phone call with you the other day where you were like laughing with the girls and they're like, guys, be quiet. We're talking about my podcast. Like, you're a fucking celebrity. Like, how gross. Like, you're using that to, like, gain a following in the jail. Like, oh, it's just gross. Everything you do is gross. Well, I'm not going to use any more of my money to talk to you. I think I've said what I needed to say. If there's anything else you would like to say, I would say it now because, like I said, this is the last time I will ever speak to you.
I plan to go to transitional housing when I get out. Are you guys going to try to take that from me, too?
Take what from you? Transitional housing? I mean, if you go to the halfway house and you start scamming people, baby, we're going to come after you like you've never seen before. Just get out and do the right thing. That's all you have to do. Don't get out and ask for people's social security numbers. Don't offer sexual favors for them. Like, what? Like, just do the right thing. That's all anyone has ever expected from you. How
work release didn't charge me with that at the court hearing.
Well, it was absolutely in the paperwork, though, was it not, Megan? Do you think that we don't know how to file requests for documents? We all know how to file requests now. We all became masters of filing requests for court documents. We've seen everything. We've seen where they said you were messaging like up to 1,000 people a day off Twitter asking for money. What the fuck is wrong with you? Who does that? Get a fucking job. Be a good person. Okay, I'm sorry that you didn't see the paperwork. I really could give two shits less. I read it. I know what you did. We all know what you did. No one's stupid.
Well, they didn't charge me with that. Funny that they dropped those allegations and got me with unaccounted for time.
Okay, well, let me tell you something. You're not in work release, are you?
No.
And whose fault is that?
And I'm getting out earlier than if I was. And I'm getting out earlier than if I was in work release.
Okay, good. Then get on and do something with your fucking life.
I plan on it. Thanks, Alyssa. Have a good night.
Thank you for using Global Tellink.
Fucking bitch.
Hey there, True Crime Podcast fans. It's Patrick and Jillian from True Crime Obsessed.
Each week on TCO, we recap a true crime documentary everyone's talking about, and we do it with heart, sass, and just the right amount of humor.
So if you like the kind of podcast where two good friends chat about a case in a thoughtful way that centers the victims, you really got to check us out.
Yeah, we cover the well-known cases that you hear about in the news and the underreported cases that desperately need more attention.
For almost 9 years, we've been one of the most popular true crime podcasts out there.
We have over 30,000 five-star reviews on Apple Podcasts, and our brand new YouTube channel has over 50,000 subscribers watching our full-length video episodes too.
So find and subscribe True Crime Obsessed wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, I'm okay. Thanks for taking my call. I know it's Labor Day weekend.
Okay, yeah, I did talk to Tiffany last Friday. You didn't hear?
I heard that she just told me thank you for putting us in contact because she did talk to you, but I don't know any specifics. How did it go?
I mean, honestly, I don't think it's fair to request comment from me while I'm incarcerated because I don't know what I'm defending myself against.
Okay,
I mean,
well, that was the opposite stance you took from Amanda. So what do you want here?
Well, I'm just saying that, I mean, I think that it's hard to issue a comment when I'm incarcerated.
Right, which is what I told you.
I mean, I agree.
One.
Yeah, right, now I can understand that. I mean, I guess it's, I mean, I don't know, we kind of went over all the allegations, but I mean, quite frankly, there's so many, and if there's any proof I want to submit, I mean, I don't have the ability to do so while I'm incarcerated.
Well, what allegations did she bring up that you feel like you need to fight against?
Honestly, I don't have the list in front of me. I don't know specifically. I just know that if there's anything that I want to provide proof for, I don't have that, and
Okay, but what do you think is going to be in there that you need to provide proof against?
There's a couple things that I would like to prove against, and I'm not going to argue about them.
Give me one.
Well,
I'm not going to argue. I just want to know. I'm not going to argue. I just want to know what they are. I just want to know an example of something that you would like, so I can better understand where you're coming from.
Sure. I would like to prove about the storage unit thing. I was not scamming on the GoFundMe. That money did go towards the movers. And I eventually did get my stuff back from them in August, I think it was, or September of last year. It was before I got arrested, because I remember they took it to my mom's house. And so, I mean, that's an example. There was no scamming. That money went directly to them.
I don't think anybody is saying that the GoFundMe was a scam. There's questions as to whether or not your dad's ashes were actually in there. That has been questioned. And we know that when the movers came to your house that day and got your stuff and had it en route to the next location, and they were contacted by people in the Facebook group, you did not have the money to pay them that day. You were trying to scam them.
I had the money, but I'm not. I mean, again, I can't prove anything while I'm in here.
But then why did they put it in the storage unit, Megan? Why would they put it in a storage unit if you had the money? If somebody called them and said she doesn't have the money and you had the money, they would have taken it where they were supposed to.
Okay. I didn't have the cash. You are correct about that. I was trying to access the cash in the bank, and I couldn't withdraw $3,000 at one time. But they did eventually get paid, and I did get the stuff back. And the money that was raised towards that was for the purpose that it was being said for on the GoFundMe. It wasn't going towards buying chocolate bars or anything.
Nobody said it was going towards buying chocolate bars. Nobody has said that.
I'm giving an example. I was told that someone said that was a scam.
The only thing I've ever heard about chocolate bars was that you did put some on your teacher list. But
that was just an example. I was not out.
Okay,
Okay,
that's fine. That's fine. But if you had the money to pay them, Megan, if you had the money in the bank, you couldn't get the cash out, why did your stuff sit in the storage unit for months while you begged for money every day if you had the money? That makes zero sense. You couldn't pay them on the day you hired them. You hired somebody for a service that you couldn't pay for. That is fair game to talk about.
Yes, I was talking about the GoFundMe, Justin.
Nobody has drawn into question the GoFundMe. There's been questions around whether the story was as tragic as you made it sound because of the whole ashes thing. I don't know if they were in there or not. I'm not going to argue about it. But that is the only thing about the GoFundMe that's been questioned.
Then why did so many people try to get it taken down?
Because I think I wasn't one of them, but I think some people felt like you were scamming again, that you were not being honest about what that money was actually for, or that you would take the money and live on it while you were hiding from the cops and not actually go get your stuff back. There's a lot of people that just think you shouldn't be. That online fundraising is probably just the space you need to shy away from, given your history. And I don't know that they're necessarily unfounded in feeling that way. Because with your history, nobody can really trust that money's going to get where you say it's going to. And people who might not know different might take that chance, and people are trying to protect other people. So I understand why people did it, whether it went for the storage unit or not. But this is where I get frustrated with you, Megan. You want to find one thing in all the stuff that Tiffany brought to you and find one inconsistency, one crack in her story, and then try to shut the whole thing down. Or I can't respond for comment because I can't prove this one thing. Megan, I haven't spoken to her since she talked to you, but I can tell you that she, I have a rough idea of the things she wanted to ask you about, and I think every single one of them is true, more or less. She's still trying to get her arms around all the details of the story. She's not put anything out yet. She's just, doing the groundwork right now. But you and I both know every single one of the big bullet points are true. And you want to try to delay it or stop.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and give any more ammunition. That's for certain. So if you're asking me to admit to anything, I'm not going to.
I'm not asking you to admit to anything. I have enough of you admitting to plenty of things. I have you on call admitting that you made up the Brian Bosma thing. I've got you on call admitting to all that stuff. I've got you on call saying all of it. So I don't need that anymore. I get frustrated because then you try to say, I don't think this is fair. But then you can't really provide anything that she said that wasn't true. You mentioned, well, that one GoFundMe did go for what I said it was going to. I don't think she asked you about that. Maybe she brought it up. Maybe she misspoke, didn't know the details when she was talking to you. But if that's the biggest detail that is somewhat missed, you're not really going on a whole lot. You don't really have much of a strong case there.
Well, I am going to look into getting a lawyer when I get out. I do want to look into defamation suits.
Okay, and I've heard that one from you before, and let me just remind you that you have a blue check mark on Twitter. You have a Facebook page that still exists that lists you as a public figure, that you have made multiple media appearances, and getting a defamation suit against somebody with the online profile that you have built for yourself is going to be very difficult and very expensive, and you have a reputation for not paying your attorney. So if you think you can get an attorney to take that case and you are able to come up with the money and you can get one to trust that you're going to actually pay for all their services, be my guest. But I don't know that is something you're going to be able to do.
Okay. I've contacted a couple. I've been in jail, so we'll see where it goes.
Well, we'll see where it goes. Because you can throw that out there because it's a scary word and you think people are going to jump back. I don't know that you're going to find anybody that's going to take your case, and you and I both know you don't have the money to pay them if you don't. So this is a paper tiger. You're just trying to scare people because you're trying to control what's being put out there. The empty threats don't win you any favors.
All right. Has any more been said on Twitter or anything?
Not a ton, no. I think they shut the Facebook group down for the summer or whatever, just because the admins didn't want to deal with it. So.
Yeah. Who are the admins still? Do you know?
The same ones there always was.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I talked to Alyssa this week.
Oh, what did Alyssa have to say?
I'm sure you heard the phone call. It went about as terrible as it can. I'm sure I don't have to paint all the details. It was...
I actually haven't heard it.
It was pretty gruesome. I don't really know what to say. I'm sorry. Of course she's going to be angry at me. We did find common ground that she would try to find me the phone call with my mom because she knows what it's like to just want to hear a loved one's voice. And I don't have many of those. And she agreed that I could get with her when I get out, and she would, if she finds it, she would send it to me, she said. That was pretty much the only thing we found common ground on. She seems pretty excited about the Tiffany podcast, which if you all think that's going to bring you some kind of satisfaction, then going ahead. I mean, it proves, I think if you're all wanting a podcast to bring you satisfaction, I think it proves that the legal process didn't, and that you're all pretty unsatisfied with what happened to me. I mean, that's my biggest takeaway, to be honest with you, was I think if you're all looking, again, if you're all looking for satisfaction in the podcast and that's going to help stop people or stop me or whatever, I think that I don't know. I think you guys are just upset the legal process only got me 6 months plus 7 and a year probation. But I think that's pretty telling. That was all the prosecutor could get me on. That's all.
Is that what you really fucking think? Is that what you actually think? Megan, you and I both know you will never serve a day in jail for what you did to You will never serve a day in jail for what you did to Edward. Victoria is not listed on the case that brought you in. There's a million things I could sit here and go through with you about things you did to people, lies you told that traumatized people, that emotionally flooded people, the things you did, the murder for hires, all of that. Some of it's not provable in a court of law. You are correct. Some of it's not actually a crime. It's still really shitty. And the fact that you can sit there with that smug tone in your voice and say, well, you didn't get me on very much. Megan, you could have probably just gotten probation if you had turned yourself in the first time, come out, started paying restitution, gotten a job, and were on the right path, not had all those reoffenses over the summer, not had run from the police, not have gotten kicked out of work release, you wouldn't have served any of this time. If you feel like we're trying to get satisfaction out of watching you suffer, that is not what this is about. This is about getting justice for all the things that you will never actually serve for. Just because it's not a crime, just because it wasn't provable in this jurisdiction, just because this case didn't pertain to it, doesn't mean you shouldn't face consequences for every last thing that you did. That's what this is all about. Got it?
Okay. I mean, you're entitled. You're entitled.
This phone call is over. This phone call is over. Goodbye.
Next time on Something Was Wrong.
This was also in the middle of her pissing match with I-Town. She claimed on social media that somebody from I-Town had come and shot her mom. So she was in the middle of planning 2 funerals and contemplating the unthinkable, that she was about to lose both parents.
This is a very small community. Everybody knows everybody. And when you talk about sexual abuse or assault, especially in the political world, it's a big deal.
I remember Jeff reaching out, very concerned for me, saying that there was a murder for hire plot, that the Association of Related Churches was involved, and that they had threatened him and that they were threatening to do something to me as well.
Thank you so much for listening. Something Was Wrong is a Broken Cycle Media production, created and produced by me, Tiffany Reese. Thank you so much to our associate producers, Amy B. Chesler and Lily Rowe. Thank you to our audio engineer, Becca High, and our social media marketing manager, Lauren Barkman of Luxury Media. Additional thanks to our partners, Grant at Wondery, Marissa, Travis, and our team at WME, Jason and Jennifer at KSCO, our cybersecurity team, Darkbox Security, and my lawyer, Alan. And to all of you who make our show possible with your support and listenership. Special shout out to NeonHoney and GIBBANEZ for covering our theme song, Gladrag's original song, You Think You, this season. For more music from them, check out the episode notes or your favorite streaming app. In the episode notes, you'll always find content warnings, sources, and resources, with links to our websites and social media as well. Thank you so much to every survivor and ally who has trusted us to help share their stories. We are forever grateful. Until next time, stay safe, friends.
Hey there, true crime podcast fans. It's Patrick and Jillian from True Crime Obsessed.
Each week on TCO, we recap a true crime documentary everyone's talking about, and we do it with heart, sass, and just the right amount of humor.
So if you like the kind of podcast where two good friends chat about a case in a thoughtful way that centers the victims, you really got to check us out.
Yeah, we cover the well-known cases that you hear about in the news and the underreported cases that desperately need more attention.
For almost 9 years, we've been one of the most popular true crime podcasts out there.
We have over 30,000 five-star reviews on Apple Podcasts, and our brand new YouTube channel has over 50,000 subscribers watching our full-length video episodes too.
So find and subscribe True Crime Obsessed wherever you get your podcasts.